Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, and welcome to another week of the Sun Bookshop and the Younger Sun Recommends. We've got another lot of great books to talk to you about, and I'm going to kick us off with Tell Me Why by Archie Roach. And this is specifically the younger, older readers edition. So it's for people in year 7+. And if you don't know Archie Roach, he is an amazing Australian musician. He's an icon of Australia. I've been lucky enough to see him perform live, I think 4 times now, and it's all just been so beautiful. Yes, Eadie, I see you there. And so Archie was a member of the Stolen Generation. So you can imagine that this memoir is filled with a lot of hardship and a lot of heartbreak, which is why it's more geared towards older readers. I just love this book. I love Archie. I love his music. If you don't know him, if you don't know his music, get on Spotify right now, look him up. Charcoal Lane, look up Charcoal Lane and listen to it because it's an amazing album. And reading this memoir, you'll get to know him better, and you'll also get to know what it's been like for Indigenous Australians in our country as well. And yeah, I just love this book. I can't tell you how it differs from the adult version because I haven't read the adult version. But yeah, really great for anybody in year 7+, and I just can't recommend it highly. Also can't recommend Archie highly enough. So get your hands on a copy of this book, get your ears into his music, and have a good time.
Yeah. Well, I can vouch for the adult version, and it's also amazing. But I'm going to talk about, last week we had a book launch at the shop for Emily Spurr's book, A Million Things. And I have read this beautiful book. I loved it so much. I don't want to say too much about it to give away the story. It is at times hilarious, but it was also completely heartbreaking and possibly heartwarming. It's about a young girl, Ray, and her dog Splinter, who, for a reason I'm not going to tell you, are alone in their house. She's 10 and getting herself to school, making herself her meals. And she's really very alone in the world. Her neighbour, who she doesn't really like very much because she's smelly and her house is smelly, they form a tentative friendship, which becomes one of the most important relationships in Ray's life. It is just so gorgeous. And the best thing about it is it's set in Seddon, and you can wander the streets with Ray and Splinter, and you can steal things off people's verandas for your own veranda because you're not so happy with the way yours looks, and wander Yarraville and go to Footscray Gardens. It's just great. It's definitely for locals as well as everyone else, but locals, I think, get that tiny bit more. Anyway, I loved it. A Million Things by Emily Spurr, highly recommended. Eadie.
Makes me want to read it. I'm back with another picture book that I'm here to recommend to children and adults. It's called The Boys, and it's by the team Lauren Ace and Jenny Løvlie, who wrote a beautiful picture book a little while ago called The Girls, which was one that we all passed around among the staff and nearly cried reading because it was this beautiful story of these girls growing up and their friendship and everything. So when this came out, I was excited, but I also looked at it and went, The Boys. Do we need one about boys? Can they do it again? So I opened it expecting to be disappointed, and my God, it was so beautiful and just smashed that out of the park because it follows these 4 very different boys who all enjoy very different things, who were best friends when they were small, and then they start growing up and they start getting interested in different things, and they are a bit competitive through school, and they find different interests and different groups, and things change and they drift apart, and then they realize that they miss their friendship and they come back to each other and understand that in order to get closer and to work through these hard things in their life, that they have to talk about it, and they put this effort into exploring that and their friendship, and then it follows them growing up into these beautiful men and their children that come from that. And it just touched so many parts of my heart. It's a really beautiful message to read to children growing up, showing all different kinds of boys, what they can be interested in, showing them be emotional, showing them have these beautiful friendships. It's a really good one to take into schools for teachers, to show kids, to talk about emotions, all sorts of different things. And it's also just a really, really gorgeous story, because at the end of the day, it is just this story of friendship and growing up with these really sweet characters, and you follow them through these periods in their life. So I loved it for so many reasons. I also think it's a really great one to have out now in the world, and a really great one that I'm excited that a generation kids is going to grow up with. It was just really beautiful. So that is The Boys.
I will second that recommendation.
Yeah, it's
definitely cried.
Another one that has been passed around the shop, and I think we're up to sort of 4 staff members having a little tear in their eye. And we've actually already sold out half of the stock we had in. So Deb's going to order some more. Definitely. And you should all get your hands on a copy. But thanks for tuning in to this week of recommendations. Yeah.
Goodbye.
See you later.